Hello, BillWhittle.com members. I'm Steve Green with Bill Whittle and Scott Ott, and this is your members-only lightning round.
You're killing me, Larry. The cost of these pictures.
What a way to round out the year, though, right? Instead of a best of, a look back, a most important whatever this that everybody else is doing. We're not giving you recycled content at the end of the year. These are hot and fresh headlines, hand-selected by me for Bill and Scott, and for you.
If you say so, Steve.
And for you, our viewers. That's right. No, most people are totally recycling content this time of year.
Yes.
I don't do that. I don't play that game anymore much. All right, here we go. We are going to start with Scott this week. CNN's Cuomo says viewers are frustrated, that's his word, because he's, and these are his words, too balanced. Is that your problem with our famous CNN host?
Too balanced for CNN.
Too balanced for CNN. Yeah.
Well, CNN.
My understanding is for CNN viewers.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, same thing. I mean, like who would watch CNN?
If you're not in an airport, yeah.
I have seen the most recent primetime ratings of the major news networks and was surprised to see that MSNBC is now leading Fox News for like the first time in 17 years in the ratings, including in some key demographics. Whatever is it, 25 to 54 or something like that. And CNN has, the perennial trailer. It's the company that invented the category, for some reason, just can never seem to be at the top of the ratings. I've never watched Andrew Cuomo. The last contact I had with the Cuomo family was, I believe, the 1984 Democratic National Convention speech by his father, Mario. I think.
Yes.
And that is his dad, right?
Yes.
They're related. Good.
It's Mario and Luigi, isn't it?
It is. He's got game. So they, I think the news network talk shows in general can only thrive if they're able to kind of take possession of a little partisan band. And this is something I think that infects the internet as well. There's not a lot of public square space anymore for reasoned discussion that is presented in a balanced manner. And so I don't know if Cuomo is actually this way, but I could see CNN viewers being upset about it because they gravitated to CNN like most of us do. We gravitate toward those who already agree with us and who make us feel good about the way that we already think. Very few of us have a tendency to gravitate toward things that we oppose so that we can better understand them. Now that said, I doubt that if I watched Andrew Cuomo, I would think, what balance, what civil discourse. But it's if you want to carve out an audience in network news, in cable news, I think you need to employ the same sorts of promotional tactics that you would for WWE or these cage matches. That's what sells.
Yeah,
Sunday.
That's right. I think balance in CNN's and MSNBC's case also probably means not doing any completely fake stories about Donald Trump biting the heads off of newborns. That's what passes for balance nowadays. All right, Bill, let's go to you. Washington State University now stocks men's bathrooms with free. This is men's bathrooms with free menstrual products. I just like to mention that tuition at Washington State University is $23,485 a year for in-state students, and out-of-state students pay $37,721 a year to go to this state school. You think they could shave a few bucks off of that by keeping the menstrual products in the ladies' room?
What a racist and sexist thing to say.
I'm a horrible person. We all
You are.
know this.
In fact, obviously, you want all these people dead.
You're a bloody bigot.
I have to say,
Scott.
I know some people throw their hands up at this, but I began to realize a while ago that there was no end to this thing that they do. There's no end to it. There is, as I've said, when you have an entire philosophy where the only way you have to excel is by being the biggest victim, there is going to be an end victim somewhere. There can only be one. There can only be one top victim who is more victimized than anybody else. And as these as these institutions proceed down this road, it actually is now at the point where it's really cheering me up, because there was a point when what they were saying, well, has always been pretty much a lie, but at least it was a lie that you couldn't just look at, hear the story, and instantly say, oh, for the love of God, come on. But we're well into the love of God category now, well into. And I see, not among Republicans, because our average age is deceased, but I'm talking about with I look at a lot of videos put out by very young people, mostly having to do with games and stuff, and the levels of frustration in terms of having this stuff rammed down their throats is exceedingly high. Yeah. And that's for the boys, because they may be men someday, but only after they get out of these colleges. Right. So the lessons are, the men are sick and tired of having this social justice nonsense shoved down their throat. I am astonished, not surprised, and delighted to hear. How can I be astonished and not surprised? Let's just say I had both reactions.
In this day and age, that makes perfect sense.
There was a couple of studies done that show that the social justice warrior women, the straight one, much preferred guys who were complete jerks about social justice than the completely woke. If there's such a thing as an omega male, then certainly that's where they are. So that's it. But ultimately, Steve, what it is for me, and it's sad in a way because I had a lot of fun, but it is yet another milestone on the road to the absolute disappearance of the university as we understood it. Yeah. The internet is what allowed this kind of pathology to thrive. It's destroyed the credibility of every university, including my own beloved University of Florida. And now a university turns out graduates who are stupider than they were when they went in. And that's quite an achievement because they were pretty stupid going in. So we're left with a world where universities, as they currently exist, brick and ivy structures, are rapidly becoming things of the past because you don't learn anything there, and the things that you do learn just ain't so.
And you pay
Steve,
a lot
I
of
think
money
if
for
it hasn't
privilege.
happened yet, there's going to be a little sign in that men's room next to the basket of tampons that says prank tools.
Oh, yeah, Scott. No, it's totally what I was about to say. The reason why you put some nominal fee on bathroom dispensary items, condoms, tampons, whatever, is so that somebody doesn't go in and just take them all for whatever reason. Because I got to tell you, when I was 18, 19 and a freshman at Mizzou, if there had been a free tampon dispensing machine in the men's room, we would have been walking around on Friday nights with stuff stuck on our noses and out of our ears, just seeing what looks we could get. Because,
I would have taken a
dumb.
couple of them from my back pocket because they're exceedingly good at stopping gunshot wound bleeding.
That's true.
It is true. So that's why you put some nominal fee, 10 cents a quarter, whatever it is, on these things. Anyway, Scott, we're back to you. Claire McCaskill says to our friend Alexandria, Occasional Cortex, don't anger working class white people. Those being the people who elected Donald Trump and threw Claire McCaskill out of office last month. Good advice. Do you think she'll take it?
I think that Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez thinks that she is fighting on behalf of the working class white people, or at least that's the way she poses. And I think this is kind of the heart of socialism, progressivism, communism throughout the eon, the century that it has really been in the ascendant, is the idea that somehow these brighter than you, prettier than you people who are your public servants, so to speak, are actually looking out for your good. And so the reason why we need all of the progressive policies that they're advancing is because that working class white guy can't really do it for himself, and he needs a scrawny former bartender from New York City to get up there and expound eloquently the ideas that he only perceives in his mind in deep shadow and grunts through them. So I think that McCaskill is right, and I'm glad she is no longer a senator. But but I think that the whole Democratic Party is going to learn that the lurch to the left is going to cost them at the ballot box. They didn't figure that out in 2016. They should have, but they may get another taste of that. And I think it's going to be more seen on the nationwide elections than it is in the local elections, because local congressional seats are such a peculiarity to that locality that you really don't get the sense of what's happening in the overall movement. But if they go out there and nominate somebody who thinks like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, I think they're going to find that there are a lot of people out there who still work with their hands, who still earn a living in a way that requires actual labor, and who still are not awash in the pink tide of socialism that is swept through the DNC.
Yeah, the lurch to the left, by the way, would be John Kerry. I just don't know who the lurch to the right is.
Mike Rowe for president.
There we go.
He'd win in a landslide. He'd win in a landslide.
It's a dirty job, but somebody has to do it.
Bill, I found a great
Precisely
Florida
what?
man story for you, and I was just
I
going to...
I was wondering how Florida man's been.
I was just going to give you the headline, but then I got into the story itself, and there was just a great detail in there. The headline is Cannibal Corpse, which is the name of a metal band. Cannibal Corpse guitarist warned of the rapture as military-grade flamethrowers were found inside his home before his arrest. What I loved most about this story, apart from the total Florida man element, is the fact that apparently flamethrowers are legal in Florida. What the hell are you still doing in California, my friend?
There's a website, I'm pretty sure it's called Dude, I Want That. And they have all of these bizarre little things. And one of the things they had was a pressurized tank that shot, I don't know for sure if it was napalm, but it shot something flammable. And then there were wrist dispensers here. And you could go out into a field and just launch flamethrowers of fire like this in any direction you wanted to. I said, I have to have one of those.
I need that.
Yeah, dude, I want that. And you know, I'd love to tell you that I think the guy's a lunatic, and I'm sure he is. But the idea of I'm assuming he's like a heavy metal band or something like that, or
Cannibal Corpse is the name of the band.
So the idea that there's a musician who's in a heavy metal band named Cannibal Corpse has flamethrowers for his personal defense because he's sure that Jesus is going to be coming back. To me, is the epitome of what I love about this country.
Yes.
I am as serious as I can be. I just think it's wonderful. And, you know, if you're going to be dealing with the zombie apocalypse, Steve, you know, you don't take any chances. You just gotta bring your best game and your best flamethrower. So I think it's absolutely
Bill,
epic.
Your buddy Elon Musk, his Boring Company, actually created and sold a flamethrower that uses a propane tank. And in order to get around certain regulations in states like California, on the package, on the instructions, and on the actual flamethrower itself, it clearly says not a flamethrower.
So if you use it for its unintended purpose, that's on you.
That's right.
Not on Elon.
California has a serious problem with propane and propane accessories.
Propane makes for a lousy flamethrower, by the way.
Yeah.
It burns
God's
too cool.
gas.
Don't ask me how I know this. All right, one last headline for me. I've been joking at Instapundit for months now, maybe even longer, that socialist economies, and I'm always talking about Venezuela lately, that socialist economies eventually run out of everything except for zeros. You know, the extra zeros that keep having to add on to the currency. And I just found the ultimate example of that. Venezuela is running out of violent crime. I'm not kidding you.
Nothing to steal.
No, the murder rate has dipped in Venezuela. Venezuela is the highest murder rate in the world, but the murder rate is dipping as violent criminals flee the country because there's nothing left to kill people, to steal. That's all you need to know about socialism, and that's, you know what, after another one of these lightning rounds, that's all you need to know about pretty much anything. I think you're set for 2019 right now. Except for more great stuff on BillWhittle.com. Thanks for making this possible. We love you to bunches, or we love you bunches to death, all of that stuff. You make this thing possible, and I'm sorry, I've only had 2 cups of coffee, and we're taping early, so I'm a like that. Anyway, thanks for everything. We'll see you next year.